Alrighty, our last topics for Math 2 this year is going to be special right triangles. Basically, I'm just wanting to expose you to the relationships between these two triangles, and then when you get into Math 3, you will do a whole lot more with them. But this is mainly for just exposure. So today there won't be any guided practice, there won't be any problems to do for this, but I do want you to go through the video just so you know what the relationships are. All right, there's two special right triangles. The first one is a 45, 45, 90 degree. This is an isosceles triangle because we have two angles that are congruent. And the relationship says that the two legs of the right triangle are going to be x, and then the hypotenuse is going to be whatever that leg is times the square root of 2. So if we look at the first example, I see that here's my right angle, here's my hypotenuse, so that makes this the legs. This is a 45, 45. So these two sides are congruent. So if this is 8, of course, x is 8. By the relationship, the hypotenuse is going to be that x, which is our leg, times the square root of 2. Example 2, again, 45, 45, so these two sides are going to be congruent, so the y is going to be 25. The hypotenuse is going to be that leg times the square root of 2. And then, oops, sorry guys. And then in example 3, we have a 45, 45. This time they give us the hypotenuse, so I can't use what we just did in the previous two. But I know to go from the hypotenuse to get the leg, if I had to multiply to get the hypotenuse, that means I have to divide to get the leg. So my hypotenuse divided by the square root of 2 will be my two sides, which are my two legs. So 19 over the square root of 2. The last special right triangle is a 30, 60, 90 special right. We have a short leg, the longer leg, and the hypotenuse. The shorter leg is always going to be across from the 30-degree angle. The longer leg will be across from the 60. And of course, you know the hypotenuse is across from the 90. The relationship here is our short leg will be the x, the longer leg will be that leg times the square root of 3, and then the hypotenuse will be 2 times the short. Looking at number 4, I have the short leg, this is the long leg, and then this is the hypotenuse. So if this is the short, I know that the hypotenuse is just going to be 5 times 2, which is 10. My longer leg is going to be that leg times the square root of 3, which would be 5 radical 3. Example 5, the 30 across from that is 14, so this is my short, this is my long, this is my hypotenuse. If the short leg is 14, of course the hypotenuse is just 2 times that, which is 28. The longer leg is going to be the short times the square root of 3. For number 6, they give me my short leg is going to be the x, my long leg, and the hypotenuse. Well, if I have the hypotenuse, I can find the short leg by dividing by 2. So 32 divided by 2 will give me my short, which is 16. Once I have the short, I can find the long. It's just going to be 16 times the square root of 3. Number 7, again, they give me the hypotenuse, same thing, divide by 2. That's going to give me the short leg, which is 23. The long leg is going to be the short times the square root of 3. For number 8 and 9, this time they give us the long leg because it's going to be across from the 60. To get the long leg, I have to go back to the short, so that means I need to get rid of that radical 3. So I would divide by the square root of 3. So if my long is 20, then my short would be 20 divided by the square root of 3. The hypotenuse is 2 of these, so I would only multiply the 20, so this will be 40 radical 3. And then the last example, they give me again the long leg, which is 9 radical 3. Divide by the square root of 3. These square root of 3's will cancel, so my short will be 9. If the short leg is 9, then the hypotenuse is 2 times that, which is 18.